That's who we are. The best on the planet. Unbelievable.
I love that. It's what I love.
First of all, before we go into Motherwell, just want to say about Greg Taylor, mate. That's why the boys call him Oxwell, because he's absolutely different gravy.
You look as if you've just come straight away for the Green Brigade.
Aye, we'd have meeting at 6:30, mate.
Yes, and we're back. I'm just back from the Green Brigade, as Bassa says. I've got my jumper on. And we're back with Celtic Unrestricted View. My name's Ryan Clifford. I'm joined by the two smiley faces of JP and Jason. Well, lads, wee bit different, international scene. So, how do we think what we got to talk about? What are we going to talk about? Celtic's worst signings, and then we'll talk about the good signings. But as I said, my name's Ryan, JP and Jason. JP, how you doing, mate? Something different tonight. But still Celtic, and we don't stop.
No, we never do, mate. We're always smiling right away, and I'm brand new tonight, mate. Again, mate, got the heating up full, so can't complain. As it's still, well, you know what the weather's like in Glasgow now, mate. It's been like this way for a long time. So, aye, happy to be here, mate.
Baltic, mate. I've got water and tea. I like your balance, you know what I mean? People say that's cold water, Freddie, but I like to go in between, you know what I mean? But yourself, Jason, how's things, big man? And yeah, big man, how's the show gone? Tell us, what's the latest?
Business is booming, man. Booming. No, good, mate. Going really well. Doing all right, mate. Aye. I'm after a week's holiday this week, so I've had more chance to get other things in, shall we say. But aye, no, it's good. It's good to be on and good to see the two of you, mate. Aye.
And by the way,
it's always good to see you. And just in case anybody's actually wondering what we're talking about, big man's got a wee sideshow there. There we go. So the big man keeps himself busy when he's not on here talking to us, and this is the sort of thing he's up to nowadays. So.
But to be fair, I think I might need to do it because my coat's still not working, just to let you know.
Well, Ryan, if it keeps it -9, I'm going to need to continue it because my gas and electricity, my gas is through the roof.
Have you early comment for you there, Ryan?
Oh, cheers, Francis. Thanks, mate.
The thing is, Francis, he actually just puts that up just before we go live, mate. He just does it right before we come live. Because when we set up before we go, we have a wee chat before we come on, and you always see him farting about on that ladder, trying to get it positioned properly on that wall. So, aye, usually it gives us a wee chuckle. Especially that time he fell off it, Jason. Remember that? That was hilarious. He had T1 on him.
There's been a terrible accident.
T1 on and water on the other one, and that was him, man. He was away.
Aye, all right, man. I know my coat's still working. It's a fashion sense these days, that. But like
We'll not be asking you what time it is, mate.
By the way, time flies when you're having fun. That's all I can say.
That's it.
But aye, like I say, lads, Celtic's good signings and bad signings. But JP, obviously you used to a wee bit older than me, so you've seen maybe a bit more than me. But I've seen quite a bad few. But I'd probably say I've probably seen more good than I have bad, to be fair, because like I say, since I've been a Celtic fan, I've really seen nothing but success. I've seen the odd season without a trophy or the odd season without a league, but overall, I've been a lucky fan, shall I say. So when you do lose leagues or you do lose games, sometimes you don't know how to react to it because you're not really used to it. So, but with yourself, mate, and start us off with your main one, your first one.
My first pick for the. I've seen a few belters, man. I mean, I remember guys like Carol Muggleton and Wayne Biggins and Ian Andrews, and I'm probably going way before your time, Ryan. I've seen a few belters, mate. Darry, what do you call him? Darry Stobchek. Darry Stobchek. A lot of them are. There's a few howlers in there, I know. Tony Cascarino, I mean, he came up here with a big profile, and he was another man that couldn't hit a cooney arse with a bandor. Excuse my French, but that was the reality of that one. So, but I've seen a few belters, but obviously, well, they're not my pick. They're obviously on the script tonight, so I'll put up the first one of what we're going to talk about is this man here. Daryl Murphy.
Daryl Murphy.
I think you're better than Maggie Murphy, to be honestly.
I'll trump you.
Aye, you better be. No, we've got a couple of belters here, Jace, anyway, but feel free to chuck a couple of more in. But aye, Daryl was an absolute belter. Came up again, had played with Sunderland and stuff, and came up with another profile, and he just. I don't know, man. I don't even think half the time he get a game of fives with the team. I'm being honest. I don't know if this is true, right? I heard him and Chris Killen used to play Kirby together at doubles. Now, I don't know if that's true, right? And they used to play. Now, I know you're laughing, Jess, right? But apparently they used to play against Oliver Tebley and. You're right, I'm big now. That wasn't Steve Guppy, no. Big Tebley was kind of pick and choosy who he decided to take with him. But in the end, he went for young Stefan Bones.
Stefan, no chance. Did you
and apparently,
man?
I don't know, mate, but he was Big Tebley's pick for Kirby, mate, and apparently that used to be the duel. And they used to have a wee season of doing that themselves, apparently. So, go figure.
But some of the names you mentioned there, mate. But Daryl Murphy, mate, what was your opinion of him? Obviously, when they first came up, and then how obviously didn't be what we all thought it would be. Obviously, because he was a goal scorer.
Me?
No, I was saying to JP there. Sorry.
Oh, me? Sorry.
Sorry.
I'm sitting looking at him, waiting for him to answer.
No, Murphy, you're a madman.
What was my opinion of him? I thought he would. To be fair, when we first signed him, Ryan, I thought he'd have done well. I thought he was coming up here and he would have done okay. Because when you seen him down the road, I mean, he scored a couple of good goals. He's left peg, and you think to yourself, right, he's in the ROI team and all, and he's getting a game with him, and like I says, man, he couldn't do it. He was that bad. I don't even think FIFA put him in the Celtic team up here when the new FIFA came out at Christmas. But no, he had a big man again. He's a bit switching cameras, look. Big man's got his jammy shots on there by the night, man. That looks like a promising show tonight, that, by the way.
I've got a few things planned.
But overall, Ryan, I really thought that, I thought he'd have gave us more. He was big and physical, and, I thought he's back to goal. He had decent control. That was all before he came here. But he just, I don't know, he just never get going, didn't he? He ended up a big bomb scare.
It was Lennon that signed him, wasn't it?
Aye.
He's the only guy I know that played TD2 touch and ended up taking about 6 touches to get the ball under control. So no, as I said, it's. But I'm just reading some of the names that's coming in here. Like, oof, wow, man, Ryan, you're totally privileged. I'm telling you,
I know,
mate.
I can see some of
Who's
them.
the man, JP? You remember him? He was a centre half. Played under Liam Brady. There's a CSC still goes to Celtic Park now. He was Irish. Oh no.
Anton Nogan.
That's it, Anton Rogan.
Aye. Better be Josh Rogan.
He made over 100 appearances or something, did he know?
Aye, he made a lot of appearances. That's one of the reasons why we were terrible in the days, mate.
But
he kept on making appearances.
But if Darryl Murphy and if he I want to come on, Barry, we come on, talk to us.
Aye, come on and talk to us. I'm not slagging you off. I mean, listen, they played at a better level than I ever did. Put it up with any of them. And any of the guys, listen, I'm only having a bit of banter. I don't want to be disrespectful here and lambast people, and you know they certainly played at a higher level than I ever did. So your hat goes after them. But then, well, that's what you're wondering. You're wondering at certain clubs and how they did in the workout, etc. I mean, to obviously to play professional, you need to have some sort of ability anyway to get there, and then obviously to move on to bigger clubs, i.e. Celtic. Some scouting network must have seen you perform at a good level somewhere along the lines to get there. So no, as I said, it never worked out for him in the end, Darryl Murphy. But obviously I'll let you talk, Jace. But obviously it was one I was disappointed with because, as I said, I thought he was going to be promising before when he came here.
Nah.
Jace.
Nah. Aye. I remember him. I thought when we signed him, I thought it'd been a good signing, but it just wasn't meant to be. I don't even remember him scoring that many goals either. I don't even remember him.
I think it was 3 or 4 goals he got.
But it was unveiled as it was meant to be a pure big signing for us. Do you know what I mean? I think he came up here to be good. But my earliest memory of a pure really bad player was Dimitri Karin, man. That goalkeeper that wore the trousers. Remember him?
Aye. Used to listen to that song before a game, Donald, where's your trousers?
David Fernandez, I know. There's another man.
Yeah, David, man. LJJ, he came off the bench at Ibrox looking like him, didn't he? I think he was using the same brow cream as him that day, by the way, man. Like, what is wrong with this guy, man? He just looked totally tuned to the moon. I think he must have been constantly listening to Pink Floyd his whole career at Celtic. Because he was always gone.
He banged him in at Livingston, by the way.
Aye. The Windies.
Aye. And then he signed for us, and it was just But there's been a few. Like,
I mean, you're a bit younger than me as well, Jay. So you've never like, again, mate. You're probably used to seeing quite a lot of success.
Been a few, man. Big Amido Balde was quite. He was pure Van der Snow, man. He was so flat-footed when he ran. It was even funny how he was so flat-footed when he ran.
Aye.
But I remember he scored an absolute screamer at Easter Road. But remember he ran
like the figures out in the Dungeons and Dragons out the Sega Mega Drive, didn't he, man?
Aye.
That's the way he was running.
Aye. There was that. As much as like Rodgers was good in that, I think Rodgers did sign some absolute donkeys, man.
See my opinion, but see like
Charlie Masonder, I know, it's another one.
See that on obviously. I don't know what you feel on it, Jason, mate, but a lot of fans might agree, they might disagree, but I don't know if the board tried to sack him in the January before he left because again he's got to sanction these signings. I get that, but the signings that he got. They were quite poor, in my opinion.
Oliver Burke isn't a Brendan Rodgers signing.
Oliver Burke, in my opinion, he's got all the attributes, by the way, to be a good football player.
Does he?
He's got all the, he's quick, he's strong. He's got all the attributes to be something. But let's be fair, he went to Leipzig with a lot of potential. He's went to, I think he's whether Bremen or Wolfsburg in Germany, and I think now he's back at Millwall. He's had a good career considering he's still.
Is that where is that Millwall now?
He's on loan to Millwall now, aye. So
Aye, for Wolfsburg, innit?
it's Wolfsburg or Werder Bremen, man.
Werder Bremen, that's it. Werder Bremen, aye.
He's
I mean,
done all right in Canadian sense of the moves he's got, and obviously the good wages and the good transfer fees. Obviously, people keep buying him, Jason. So
He's like a character between Red Dwarf and Doctor Who, isn't he, man?
for me, Jason, there must be something in him. But Jason, like you're saying, we'll talk about Manuel, but there must be something in him. But for guys to keep, because see when he signed for Leipzig,
He's lightning fast.
Very rarely do Leipzig sign horrendous players. They've got a good model and a good structure. And I think they got more potential. I think was it £18 million or something. I think
for Nottingham Forest. He was good at Nottingham Forest.
Aye. I don't know how you feel about his signing.
How many goals did they score with us? 9 goals or something?
I don't know, right?
By the way, that was probably his most successful
And he
scoring.
he was playing as a lone striker when he came up here, didn't he? He's definitely no one of the worst signings I've ever seen at Celtic. Definitely no. Although it didn't work out for him, but he's definitely not one of the worst signings. Because I just thought he was lightning fast, and he was a. You picture just somebody with that kind of speed to play on the way, like an counter-attacking team. That's at the beginning. That's the way Leipzig when they kind of started to make it a bit bigger. That's the way they were. They played because they had Timo Werner as well, and he was lightning as well. So, no, he's definitely not the worst. He's certainly not on any of the list that would come into my head right away. Definitely no.
That Abui Kouassi, I know he was meant to come in to replace Scott Brown, and I think the most he done was run on at Ibrox for 5 minutes and then came back half again.
He done a Cruyff turn at Murrayfield and was out for 18 months.
To be fair, by the way,
he done his ligaments, didn't he?
See, fair play to him. He actually tried to continue to play, so fair play to him for to keep going. That was fair play to him for doing that.
That's what it could come down to, but it's like if he did pull off that Cruyff tournament on and had a good game, it could have made his Celtic career, but because he done it and he got injured, it's kind of finished his career. So it's that sort of fine line whether it makes him a bad signing, but it could have been. Do you know what I mean? Because I think for what I took for it, Rodgers, when he was signing players, he was signing them on their potential. That it could be good in the future, but that isn't what you need. We don't need that. He signed so many players like that Shved, or he might be good. You know what I mean?
Well, according to Rodgers, he never met him before he signed him. That's bonkers. That's as well we all knew about JP, like Jason says here. Ange knows these guys. He's talked to them on the phone. The agents are all talking before these guys get signed. Brendan Rodgers.
Well, all you need to do is listen to them when they come.
Brendan Rodgers was like, I don't know who he is.
That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable.
But this is where we all knew compared to where we were when guys weren't even told. By the way, how is he? Do you like him or no? It's isn't it, JP? It's night and day. Like we say, people like to give the board a bit of jip, even though we've done well and they've back danced to the halt. They've back danced blind. Let's be fair, they're backed. Maybe not this year, but
I think
last
you
year.
Keep backing him though.
Oh, you've got to back him, Jason.
That's the thing with Rodgers. He was back the first couple of seasons, and then with the third and fourth season,
see Brendan Rodgers money wise. I mean, a lot of money. Was he really backed with a lot of money?
If you look at the money he spent, aye.
How much money did he spend? But he only really signed Sinclair. The Berry was already signing before he came.
Edward.
Aye, but I'm talking about
he came his second season on loan.
Aye.
Rodgers' first season. In Rodgers' first season, he brought in Gamboa.
Cole, Toure, Sinclair,
Doris de Vries.
And De Vries.
Doris de Vries, the goalie.
Aye.
Cole, Toure, Sinclair.
Paddy Roberts. Did they not sign Paddy Roberts or not?
He brought him back, on loan. Aye. He put that through. I don't think who else he signed, because he signed.
Was Jack Kendry his first or second season?
No, I think that was his second season, I know.
Second season.
I mean, that. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he didn't spend as much as what we think he spent then.
I would need to sit down and do the figures, but I don't think he spent as much as some other managers. I don't think so.
They no sign it right. They no he signed a Gamboa, wasn't it? And then
Gamboa.
He's
Threw him right in. Threw him right in at Nou Camp, and I remember that.
He's a Gary. Aye.
Gamboa was a million. As a Gary was nearly a free transfer. De Vries was a few $100,000. Sinclair was like 4.5 million, something like that.
When I seen De Vries,
he signed about Kouassi as well.
I think Abu Kouassi was 2.5 or 2.2.
Signed a boy for Ipswich. Signed a boy for Ipswich.
Benyu.
Aye.
Couldn't die Benyu, so he did.
Signed him, aye.
He did make an appearance. He played at Kilmarnock.
Did they play at Kilmarnock? Aye.
And that lime green shirt thing they wore, remember?
Oh, aye. So,
and Cham.
Signed in Cham.
I would say Cham was a massive success. I loved Cham.
No, he's not one of the bad signings. Well, obviously, I just mentioned, try to remember Brendan signings here.
Might be unpopular, but I did not rate Cham, man. I thought he was so frustrating, man. When he played well, but when he was bad, he was rotten.
I thought he was a good player.
I don't think he was consistent enough for me.
No, that's fair.
Do you know what I mean? But then you look.
No, he did have that issue as well. Aye.
You look at Rodgers and all, but because in his first season, we went out to Astana. He was beat on at centre half.
We made the Champions League, I know.
Made the Champions League, I know.
Aye, just.
We beat Beersheva, I know. We big beat on it.
Centre half.
Centre back, aye. But no, there's another one. Obviously, we'll mention who was pathetic, in my opinion. Was this guy here?
Oh my God! I seen him scoring against East Kilbride. We played them in the Scottish Cup. Scored it. They no scored at Tynecastle, I know.
I think he did, Jason. That rings a bell.
I don't know. It must have been a fluke.
That was a dialer signing. No, by the way, there's one that's even worse than that. He scored his only goal at Stranraer. Big Carlton Cole.
No, big Carlton Cole, aye.
Remember that? What were we thinking about that, by the way?
I think we were just trying to get bodies in to help the squad, just at the time. I remember right, we were injury ridden and he needed players in. And we were going down the road.
And this earth that Carlton Cole should have been playing for Celtic. No way.
I wouldn't have minded him when he was at West Ham and playing well.
Aye.
Another boy came through Chelsea's ranks.
Was good for West Ham.
I think it was.
That's what I'm saying.
I generally don't believe they two were dialer signings. Don't believe from
no
way. Again, I don't know that by proof. This is just my. For what I feel as a fan, I don't believe it. Ronnie Dyler, the football he was starting to play, would have wanted they two, and I do believe you, JP. I do think it was more get bodies at the end of the season and try and show it up and just try and give options, because I seen Carlton Cole. I think it was at Ross County, and he came on as a sub. I think he scored, but it was like an OG, and I was like, he's just no for it anymore. He's just no capable to play the way we want to play. And Kazzy Mitchell's, he left us. He done all right at Derby a few years ago and that, but he's never been prolific. He's never been a brilliant player. Aye, the big guys, like you said, JP, we had a bit of banter here about how poor they were for your team, but they've played it better standing us, so you can't slot them too much. But in the way you're slotting,
I'm not here to slaughter them. I'm just here's one I know that if I'm right, we've got a wee comment in for Tim. Sorry to cut in you there, Ryan.
Sorry.
If I remember right, this was Gordon's brother, and he played against him at Parkhead. Was the one Mahy get sent off and Paul Lambert get his teeth knocked out, and they won the league at Parkhead that day. Scott Marshall.
Don't know who he is.
And that's the one. He was a centre half. He came up for Tim. You might know better. I think it might have been somewhere like Southampton. We got him for. He was a centre back. He's Gordon Marshall's brother. And he played at the back for us against Rangers at Celtic Park. Rangers won the league that day. Neil McCann scored 2. They beat us 3-1, I think the score was. Big Mahy gets sent off. That was the one with Hugh Dallas getting hit with a coin.
Okay.
Hugh Dallas gets hit with a coin. It was Arsenal. He's just Plunge has commented on. Cheers, Plunge. Thanks, mate. Arsenal it was. It was Arsenal we came for. And aye, as I say, we get lettered that day. Totally lettered. And they won the league at Celtic Park, and they done the huddle, right in the middle of Celtic Park, so they did, celebrating. That was horrific. It was horrible to watch that as a Celtic fan. Horrible. But like I say, it was one of many horrible days I remember seeing as a Celtic player. A Celtic fan even. For Celtic players, I should have said. Because I thought that, up till then, it was 1999 it was. And it was the season after I'm sure Dr. Joe might have been our manager. I can't mind if I don't think it was the season. It must have been before then, guys. I've had a wee comment here saying 1999. It must have been before then, Plunge, because they won the league at Celtic Park that day, but we stopped 10 in a row. And after we won the league to stop 10 in a row, they brought an advocate.
Stefan Mahe wasn't there when Wenger.
I'm sure
he was away. I'm sure he was.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. It was Wim Jansen that signed Stefan Mahe.
Mahe was still there when O'Neill was there.
Mahe played in the 6-2 demolition derby at Celtic Park. Him and Big Stubbs played. Mahe was there.
I thought they were.
It was that season Mahe left.
As I remember them being, Wim Jansen was that the year we were sponsored by Umbro. Remember?
97, 98, aye.
Then it was the big Umbro one.
Yep.
I remember Mahe being there. Right, no, but Mahe was still there when O'Neill was there.
Because I'm sure the
NTL top. I remember that one. I remember going to a game when we played Hibs. Hibs played in that pure. They had a bright purple strip, and Mahe scored. And I remember saying to my dad that Stefan Mahe had scored. And he was pure fucking.
There you go. That's right. I remember that as well. Tim's just commented again. Hugh Dallas got up with a coin. A guy fell off the top tier that day as well. So, and so when the guy fell off the top tier, the game gets stopped, I'm sure as well, because Hugh Dallas got up with a coin, and Paul Lambert get his teeth knocked out with Big George Alberts.
Was that the one with the penalty, or it wasn't a penalty? Was that game or not?
I think that's that actual move, Jason, to be fair with you, mate. I think that's the actual move. It wasn't
a penalty, and he gave it a penalty anyway. The only reason I'm bringing that, because I remember it was on that thing.
That's how he got his teeth knocked out, because Alberts went down with his knee and tapped him, and it hit him right in the mouth, and Lambert was underneath it. I'm sure he had to take off that day, I know, Lambert. But we were honky-tonk, guys. And I mean honky-tonk that day. But I remember watching that with my dad. And I thank God I wasn't at it, mate. I think I'd have been greeting. No, Patrick, he didn't, mate. It was that game. If you go back and look, mate, it was Jason just said, they got a penalty. And Hugh Dallas had just been hit with a coin before it.
And that's why
he gave the penalty. And that's, I think Lambert or somebody, you can see somebody lip reading to him. You gave that because you got hit with that coin. That was that game.
Right, aye,
Aye, that was that game. No, it was Big Albert's knee came right down and tapped him. Came right down and tapped his mouth. And he gave a penalty straight after that happened.
I'm just going to nip him for 2 seconds. Right? See anybody who's watching the live and they're commenting, please. It's so hard for me, Jason and JP. We want to put up some of your comments, but there's some words in it that we can't put up. So can you please try and refrain from putting it in if we want to put the comment up, because it's no ideal for us. So there's certain words we can't put up, guys. So unfortunately, some of your comments we can't put up due to that. So if you can, please try and be a bit nice if possible, because it's quite hard for us to get some of the comments up, just in case anything does flag up in the future. So thanks for that. But no, I'm sure JP I was only a young guy.
I was too quick to jump in there and put a comment up in the first place.
I see that, it's all right, mate. I laughed. I agree with JP that that game, again, I'm not a young guy, but when I've looked at the games back and I've spoken to my old man and stuff, and even he said, Ryan, he gave that because what happened. It wasn't a penalty, and he just gave it because of that. And again, like you says, mate, I know we're getting a bit off topic, we're talking about the worst signings, but we're in a conversation. It just shows you, like you says, it's no stopped, and it's in 2023.
No, Patrick's come back again. It's definitely no Patrick. It was Paul Lambert slides in, and it's not a penalty. And Alberts has gone down before he approaches Lambert. And when Lambert slides in, he makes Alberts' knee goes right in to Lambert's mouth, and he loses his teeth. He's actually gushing the blood as well. And I think it's Tom Boyd or Stubbs, who you've just mentioned. Somebody says to Hugh Dallas, you gave that because you got hit with that coin. It's that game. It's 100%.
Tom Boyd that says it.
It's Tom Boyd, there you go. So it was that. So, wee bit of mix up there, but it's definitely that game, Patrick, to be fair with you. Ryan, sorry, mate. I just, when I seen that other comment there, mate, I get sidetracked. So, what was your actual question there, mate?
No, like you were saying, obviously, I know it's off topic because we're on this conversation. Obviously, you're saying he gave a penalty. Oh, no, he gave a penalty because of what happened. Again, I was only 6 or 7 when it happened, so I didn't see the full game. But I've looked back at it a few times now. My old man's told me, people I know were at the game, and he gave it just because of that. It was not a penalty. He gave it just because, like you've said, what happened to him. But things like that, I don't think have ever changed, and it's 2023 now. You're still getting bad refereeing, you're still getting all this, and it's no change. And like I said to you the other night, I'm growing up a bit more now, and I'm seeing more things. And you know, on this, because you do this, you try your best to be balanced. You try your best to see things from a neutral point of view. But it's staring in the face right in front of you, JP, you can't. It's just impossible.
No, definitely. It's been going on for donkey's years, way before my time, Ryan. You just need to listen to my dad talking, and you know, it's always been the same. I think up until a wee while, mate, there was no Celtic. I mean, see way back in the day, the Lisbon Lions never even get picked to play for Scotland. They all got caps here and there, but see if you go and look at all the caps they all got, it's only quite a few with them all. Like Betty Hall's only get like 3 or 4 to his name.
I think Jimmy Johnson's only get about 9 or 10 or something.
I think the only one no, I don't think so. So see, even if you go way back to the days, none of them were even allowed to even get picked to play for Scotland. So,
which is shocking, by the way.
Which, going with what I'm hearing, and I know people might laugh at us, but they were that good and successful as a team. They should have got more, and you could have probably picked them to be the Scotland team. Realistically, you could have, because that's how good they were.
You should have, really. They should have, but really.
But it's always been the same. I mean, remember the Tommy Burns era and all, when we signed Cadet, Jim Farry with on his registration and all that, and it's been on for years, Ryan. But yet
we're paranoid.
No, but of course, no. That's but obviously the outsiders and whatever. That's what they're going to say. There's evidence being gathered. Anybody that wants to have a wee watch, there's a documentary, and it's available on YouTube. It's called Anyone But Celtic.
Aye,
very good.
And it's run by a guy called Paul Larkin. Yeah, it's done by a guy called Paul Larkin, and it's on YouTube, and it's available free. So anybody that wants a wee kind of insight that probably goes, what the hell are they talking about? Have a look on there, and you'll see some of the stuff that that we've also mentioned, and some of the stuff that we're talking about, that you want to know as well. It covers a variety of different things and decisions that were made against Celtic through generations. So have a wee look on there. It's well worth a year. And there's also another one called The Asterisk Years. Paul Larkin does as well. And again, that's all about like corruption, and there's an Armageddon one as well you can watch here as well. So there's plenty there for us not to be paranoid, for us to show that this is exactly what happened. George Cadet's registration was withheld because he was a threat. Nothing else.
Were we not playing Rangers before, a few days before?
We were due to play them no long. We were due to play Rangers, Aberdeen, and I think it was Hearts or Hibs. I can't remember. And it was like all in the space of the next 2 weeks, and his registration got withheld. That he actually missed 2 of the games, so he never actually played Rangers till away near the end of the season. And he also got a goal chopped off at Ibrox as well.
I know.
And apparently he was offside. And now there's another one night of signings that have no worked out for us. There's just players no worked out in general. And there was a guy called Gordon Petric standing on the pitch. If anybody that doesn't know Gordon Petric, he looks like Jaws out of James Bond. That's what he looks like. He looks like Big Jaws out of James Bond. And he moved like him on the park and all. That's exactly what he used to do. He was just a big stool. He just, I'd imagine trying to get a dance with him at a Christmas do must have been like trying to shift a wardrobe. But no, as I said, it was like he was hopeless, absolutely hopeless, and he was marking George Cadet at that corner in the bottom air, and Cadet put it in, and apparently he was offside. So, aye. So as I say, anybody that wants to have a wee look at what potential, you want to know a bit more about the corruption that's been happening for years, then you can go on and get those 3 videos because they're very, very good watches. I'm not want to tell you anything about it. I've told you the name, so you can go and they're all available on YouTube as well. So you can go and have a wee watch there. Sorry, Ryan, I've done an Andy Gray tonight, mate. I've just decided to
mate, no, fire away.
Go on a mad rant. Big, I was going to call him his nickname there, but Big Jason's sitting, waiting to come back in. I don't know what you were doing there, big man. I don't know if you've got moths or something, but you were waving your hands there or putting your hand up to talk or whatever. Was that what you were doing?
No, my wee was running it. Trying my wee to sit back up on the couch.
All right.
No, but in terms of, like I said, JP, that's obviously for. You could talk for hours on all that, and again, we're no.
If you want to scare her, mate, just spin the camera and I'll give her a wave. She'll bolt.
But in terms of obviously, mailbag signings, Jason, there's millions, but obviously we want to go into the good signings. But the other one we can obviously mention like guys like Dewey and even like Morten Rasmussen and guys like that. We've had some absolute howlers. Was
Rasmussen a bad signing, Ryan?
I think
is that just the narrative running about that? Was he?
I think he was good, mate. I think we paid about £2 or £3 million for him, and
I don't think it was as much as that.
I think so. Don't quote me on that, but I'm sure it was a good bit of money anyway for Celtic. It was a bit of money anyway.
To be fair, I've seen this name a few times, guys, but I just loved it for what John's put up here, and he's put a song up as well. Don't you wish your right back was Chaduri? Brilliant, man.
Mind that game against Rennes or something.
The pass back to Big Foster.
And he started laughing.
It's not that, no. But Jason, I would have started laughing, I know, because I'd have been wondering what Foster was doing. There was not a lot of pace on that ball, and Big Fraser just let it roll by him. He could have stopped it if you go back and look at it.
I know, but
I know what you're saying. That was hopeless. I know what you're saying.
Another one that, I mean, some people might think it was good, but I could never ever understand why he played in a Celtic jersey, and that was Momo Salah. I never rated him.
Momo Salah?
I didn't either.
Oh, he'd some injury in him. He could run all day.
I can't know, but that
remember the game at Anfield? He was outstanding that night.
I don't think he'd be one of the worst you'd think.
No.
He played in a good team, didn't he? So
you're picking him before you pick Mo Kamara?
Mo Kamara, no. I can't get off. I mean,
you better be your iPhone camera.
Paul Telfer.
Read a couple. Paul Telfer wasn't a bad player, by the way. He wasn't a bad player for us. He was a very, very good servant for us. He was just a guy that was very different, and he was successful in that Gordon Strachan team. So
you look at the first sign that Mo Kamara was Gordon Strachan's first signing. I think, and every Celtic fan was like, "What is he doing here?"
Mm-hmm.
And then
Efren Suarez, there another one.
Efren, mate, he was
He
going to
looked
be
good.
some player. He'd have
He
been
looked
some
good.
player, by the way.
But I think he liked a bit of white stuff, didn't he?
I think he liked a bit of the stuff straight to Mexico.
Oh dear, you're asking the comments to be nice, mate, and you're giving a baby stuff like that. You behave yourself tonight, Mister Ryan. We've got a wee comment in for Francis, Ryan. He's alluded to your Rasmussen. So it was 1.5 million for Rasmussen, and he scored 2 goals.
Bad signing.
I knew it wasn't as high as 2-3 million. I was like, no danger. That's another one. Freddie Lundberg.
I think that was a board signing to try and get the fans on side or something. It
Aye.
must have been because it was. I think he must have been 33, 34 when he signed, wasn't he? He was finished. And then I think after that he went to America.
He's not finished. He's only 28. Why does Anthony not get a game for Scotland? Why does Craig Brown keep overlooking him? That's got to be one of the best things I've ever heard.
Marc-Antoine Fortuné.
I didn't think he was the worst.
He wasn't a bad player either. No, he wasn't. He was. Tim's put up another one. Jean-Joel Pierre-Dumby.
I liked him.
He can't really. He won as a Scottish Cup, didn't he? He won as a Scottish Cup against Dunfermline, so we can't really.
You put one up earlier on in the chat. El Kaduri scored at Ibrox.
I know, but that was all he done, mate. That was all he done.
But he went to the World Cup final. He played in the World Cup final.
Guess who the goalie was?
Was it McGregor?
McGregor. The ball went right under him. The ball done a big Taibbi. Remember him at Man U?
Aye.
Right under him.
The Dutch boy, I know, was...
Somebody got a big Arctic reversing up their driveway or something like that, aye.
Oh, was it Edison Brathwaite? That was who it was.
Edson Brathwaite, aye.
I think it was something outside the road at my house, to be honest. Either that or my house is burning down, but we'll deal with it after the podcast. Aye, but Brathwaite, I remember him. He pure came in and just pure slated everything about Celtic, didn't he? And then came on the World Cup final.
Oh, aye, that's right. He slated the plunges, put up a good one and all. Ian Wright. Ian Wright wasn't a bad player. He just came as when he was finished.
He's not finished. He's only 28.
Aye. That's, by the way, do you know he started his career with Crystal Palace at 28?
Who? Ian Wright?
Ian Wright. He turned professional when he was 28 years of age.
Did he?
Was that when he turned professional? Was it?
He 28 when he started with Crystal Palace, and then Arsenal signed him.
Was he no in the jail or something?
Don't know, mate. Were you in beside him? Is that how you know? I don't know. He's just stuck him in.
I caught grass, by the way.
Big Jason's been only fans for the last 25 years.
Hello. We just found out about it 25 days ago.
Who was another keeper? He was there at the same time. You might know it, Jai. You might know it. He was on loan for Liverpool. He made
do you actually know we had what's his name? He played against us in Orbie Blackburn. Big American goalie. Brad
Friedel?
We had Brad Friedel on our books and we let him go. Him and Shea Given.
Did we?
Aye, we let the two of them go as boys, mate. Aye. I've got a photo, so I need to try and send it to you. I've got a photo somewhere. It's they two, Gordon Marshall, and I'm sure Big Boners with him or not. Was it Tony Warner? Jace, the goalie.
Tony Warner. That's it, man. Tony Warner.
Aye. Tony Warner was he came in for Dr. Joe's team, made his debut against Rangers at Parkhead, and we beat him 5-1 that day. Lobo scored 2. No, he played a couple of games. But then he went to Hibs in Aberdeen as well, remember?
Aye. I remember him being there, aye.
Because it was Van Bronckhorst that scored against us that day at Celtic Park, the 5-1 game. He scored a free kick, went in half a post.
Right, aye.
But
There was a few. I mean, Barnes, I know he signed a few, didn't he?
Barnes, aye. Raphael Shite.
Aye, aye.
He watched him on. He watched a video of him on YouTube and says, "I'll pay $5 million for him."
Say that.
I think it was like it was. I think it was like that only excuse. I only see Paul again. I only see sports scene. I only see the good bits. Brilliant, man.
See the YouTube short videos you get now?
Aye.
They must have been the only good bits of Raphael Shite. Come on.
But see, the thing is, but see when we signed him, was it no something about in Brazil that you could actually buy Brazil caps? Like you paid the federation to get Brazil caps, so people are saying that he bought a cap and was pure odd and said he was a Brazil international. I'm
not sure. I think he actually did get a game with Brazil. I'm sure.
Was there not 5 caps or something?
I'm sure Mario Zagallo called him up.
I'll need to check his stats again.
Martin O'Neill came in and was basically like, you need to go.
Aye, he got rid of him pretty early doors because I think we went to. It was a pre-season game. We played Leipzig in the Lerdes. And I'll be back in Leipzig, one of the team. Aye, I'll be back in, and I'm sure he played in that game. He also played in a friendly against West Ham at Celtic Park. But to be fair, he was outstanding against the Canio that night. But little did I know, a week later I found out the Canio was carrying 4 injuries, and he still played against them. But no, we
come out for John. It says 3 appearances for Brazil.
3 appearances for Brazil. Cheers, John. Were they on FIFA, mate, or Sensible Soccer, or what was it? What was it they were on? You've left that kind of vague here, mate. So, no, but Barnes signed a few belters. He signed a couple of. I've seen a couple of people putting Berkovic's name in the comments. I wouldn't agree with Berkovic. I thought Berkovic was a very good player. He just, again, he played in a. You've got to remember the team that we had then and on, the era we were going through. And it didn't help.
The team was going off.
Aye, it didn't help. It also didn't help with the season we went through that season as well. And then Larsson breaking his leg. And we ended up having to rely on Big Viduka. And like I say, we were totally rubbish majority of that season. I can't remember, apart from the beginning, with Barnes looked good. It was looking good, the 4-2-2-2. And it was, we hammered Aberdeen. I think we got a good result at Celtic Park, and then things all started to kind of pan out for then. And I think we lost the first derby. I think we get beat 4-2 at Ibrox. It was the first kind of derby that season, and then we totally fell apart. And that season went from bad to worse. A bit similar to the 10 in a row season, actually. That's probably the worst season I remember for that 10 in a row recently season there. The performance-wise of the team.
Aye, I would say so as well. It was some of the games were. Honestly, if you want, see if I wasn't a Celtic fan, JP, and that was just say that was, I don't know, if it spoke Lisbon and Porto, and that was what the game was, I'd have turned it off. Because the football was, but it just shows you. But now, when you've got the crowds back and you've got all that back as well, the difference it makes, and as much as people will still say it was an excuse, but for me it's still a bit of a hindrance in not having the crowds here, because us as fans give the players a chance to then get themselves up for it, and people say, you shouldn't take up for it, but when the fans are singing your name and stuff like that, of course you're going to kind of rise to the occasion a wee bit more, and you're going to get up for it a bit more. So, and personally yourself, when Scott Brown put in a tackle, maybe you're 1-0 down, you're not for each, maybe you're struggling, if Scott Brown puts a tackle in, you know yourself, JP, at a game, oh, the crowd's up there. The crowds are all buzzing, all right, brilliant, let's go. So there's loads of, I've seen a few comments and all, guys, Francis says, well, will flood.
He was actually bought in a window that we were supposed to actually buy, Francis, Stephen Fletcher at the time.
Aye.
We actually should have went and bought Stephen Fletcher that transfer window, and we ended up buying a guy that could never get a jersey to fit him. He just looked like a wee boy. See when you stick a one of your maybe t-shirts on top of a wee boy, that's what Willow Flood looked like. He just looked really, really, really mad in the actual Celtic shirt. Thought we'd done our guest on a podcast there.
But I think in general terms we've had really bad signings. But I want you to try and delve into your archives or recent archives and pick JP, Jason, to pick probably maybe one of your best signings, either in terms of if it's value wise or in terms of just an amazing signing. If it's a loan, it can be a loan deal as well, Jason. So I'll let you get in first, big man. Who do you think, in your opinion, is one of your best signings at Celtic?
The last bit, Ryan, what you getting is what time frame? So
I'll say since O'Neill. The last
since O'Neill. So you can't pick Larson, Jess, right? So it needs to be somebody for O'Neill onwards.
It can be a loan deal, free transfer, anything you want.
Boom.
Edward.
Good shout. Very good shout. Aye. Any reason particular, any quality that stands out, or is it the value that we're going for?
I think the money that we got from, I mean, even though it was 9 million, was an absolute steal for him. And I just think that he was a genius with a ball. 9 times out of 10 when he got the ball, put it in the back of the net. You know, it was. And I think for me, I think he kind of under the radar a wee bit because he did. It was when he came on and scored the winner at Ibrox when we were down to 10 men. That's when you were like, right, he's arrived. But it was good before that. But I just think that he was the first sort of modern day striker that Celtic sort of had. But I was like, wow, man. You know what I mean? Because he wasn't just like a porter and all that. He was all round. He could assist, he could score, he could header, he could dribble, he could hit a dig. He was an all round, for me, a good striker. Like Gary Hooper was very, very good, but it was maybe a porter for me. Whereas I think Edward had everything. He could set up, you know what I mean? It was no matter, even in his last season when he wasn't at his full pomp, he was still the top goal scorer of the league. That said it all for me.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely, Jason. I was a big fan of Edward. Anybody who's listened to the podcast before will know that I was a big fan of him. I still thought, obviously, the last year of his contract, JP, we get good money considering it was the last year's contract, but I think maybe we've learned now, as much as you don't want to lose your main players, I think sometimes you need to, when the iron's hot, i.e. maybe the new with a Abada, if Southampton want 50, if Celtic say £50 million, just sell him because you might not get that again from him. Another year, he might not perform and it's less. So maybe that's one that maybe we can learn from. Maybe we stick by irons hot, but we did get good money for him considering it was his last year. But for me, Edward, I can agree. I think he's definitely up there in terms of being near Larson, in terms of his quality. Obviously no Larson, let's be fair, he's never near Larson. But since Larson, how good strikers we've had, he's definitely for me in the top 3.
See if he'd stayed, he would have been. For me.
Well, the best signing we made since O'Neill to the club, in my opinion, for the value, and then obviously what he gave us after that was Scott Brown. Everything he grew into, and what he became, and he became a Celtic captain, and he gave us a lot of success, and he's probably one of the most successful ever Celtic captains.
Yep.
Callum McGregor's got a big set of shoes to fill. I know he's on the road to being successful, etc. But he's got a long way to go to there, season after season after season after season, to continue leading by that example. And to watch Scott Brown, for the guy that we signed under Gordon Strachan, to then what he became, was just what an achievement. It was amazing being there and seeing it. That's all I can say. Totally remarkable.
becoming what he became when we signed him, I think we all
Probably
thought he would
no.
have come in and been a couple of years, and then he would have went down south, because that's what
Probably
what
no,
I
because
thought
he's a
would have
loony.
happened.
He was a
Aye.
madman. He was a loony. He was a bit of a hard nut on the pitch, and he got stuck in about it. And I mean, even a boy at Hibs, he was battering into Alan Thompson and battering into Neil Lennon.
Who made
And
him
they're like,
captain?
as if
Stratton?
Stratton, aye, Gordon Stratton. He took care for, I think it was Big Steve McManus. Aye,
It was he made him captain
Oh,
full
Tony
time, but
Mowbray.
it was Mowbray that gave him it, because after it was, he mentioned it in that, he mentioned it in a documentary recently. It was that podcast I sent to JP that done with, who was his name? And he's pal in the media.
Keith
That's it,
Jackson.
Keith Jackson. He done one with him, and he says
that
one
on
day,
YouTube?
he says, I'll
Aye.
send you it, Jason. So
Aye.
apparently what he says was, he was Celtic, Mowbray wasn't a fan of him. He was like, I think you maybe need to go, because he wasn't playing. There was rumours in the papers that he was leaving, and I think he was either on the bench that day or he started, one of the two. And Mowbray gave him the captain's armband. Just gave him it just out of the blue. He went, all right. And then ever since then he went, and then obviously the next year by starting, and he was there full time. So he just says he came out the blue, didn't expect it, and I don't know. He says I still don't know this day.
Was Tony Mowbray no after Stratton? No.
Aye, was he no? Was he?
I'm sure he was, because it was Strachan, because he had Lennon he had Lennon as part of his team, Mowbray, and then it was Lennon.
Because it was Lennon, and then Dyer.
Strachan, it was Strachan that signed Bruni, so he must have been there after Strachan. Strachan that signed Scott Brown.
I do remember Scott Brown. I do remember Scott Brown being out of the team though. I do remember him being out of the team under Mowbray.
Aye, he was out of the team.
He was playing in Guemo, front of him.
Because Strachan was right after O'Neill. It was Strachan that replaced O'Neill.
That's right, aye. That's right.
So, he was playing in Guemo, who was another good signing for Celtic, by the way. He just came to Celtic at the 9th time, because see if Guemo was there when Celtic were more successful. What a player he'd have been for us, by the way.
I thought it was all right, aye.
He was good, mate. He was.
He's a good player.
It was just, I think, it was at the stage we were at, it kind of probably didn't look as good as what it should have been.
Starting Mowbray and then Lennon, wasn't it? That's
Aye.
Wasn't it? Aye. But for some reason, in an interview, Scott Brown says that it was Mowbray gave him the captaincy. Unless I picked that up wrong.
I don't know. I'm sure he was given captaincy under Strachan. Maybe not permanently, but it might have been Mowbray gave him it permanently.
Well, because if you remember though, JP, when Stratton was there, Big McManus had it, and then Big Elvis had it for a wee bit. I know.
Aye, that's right. I remember that. Aye.
And then Lennon had it. I know. And then it was Brown was after Lennon.
Yep.
Aye. I'll send you that. I'll send you that clip, Jason. It was good, to be fair.
It must have been Mowbray that made him captain.
I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure Mowbray says he gave him it out of blue, saying right, you're taking it, and then Scott Brown says I thought that was a gesture, because to say that, to stand by like the club saying he's gone nowhere. He says I don't know if that was the case or he just gave it to me. He says, but ever since then he went, I was a captain. He says it helped me. And obviously said, like you said, JP, about him come to Celtic. He came to Celtic. Jason actually says in that interview why he came to Celtic. I'm not telling you. You can watch it.
He's my pick, right? I mean, how can you overlook a guy? Know what I mean? But look what he done with the club.
JP, but right, there's still certain parts of your fan base that will turn round and say that Scott Brown wasn't good enough for Celtic.
But they're not sober, mate.
And that's absolutely insane.
I know, but they're not sober. These guys hang about outside pubs waiting in the motorman again so they can recharge themselves. These guys aren't sober, mate. Anybody that says Scott Brown wasn't a good Celtic player is... I'm actually stunned by that if that was to happen.
Just say nothing.
I know it's like the whole fear because Abada's coming out saying that maybe he wants to leave and all that, which is fine. You get the people going like that, but he's not that good anyway.
But this
come
is what I'm
on,
saying.
man.
But Jason,
come on.
Abada's not saying this. The media's saying this, and that guy who's apparently his ex-manager, Abada's not said a word.
But why is he saying it, Ryan? How does he know?
No, but I mean, Abada's no come out and said it. So
Is that the international manager, innit? The Israel manager?
I think
That
so.
said it. Aye.
No,
So how
but
does he know? How does he know?
I can't see Abada going like that to the international manager or by the way I want to be. Why would he say that?
In a private
He's an international
conversation, he might
manager.
have, and then he's now told the media.
But this is what I'm saying, Jason. Like, don't never, as much as things could be true, do not believe what the media tell you because they'll tell you what you want to believe.
If the media told me it was Tuesday, I'd need to look at my phone.
First of all, the media are saying
You stick your teeth in you.
First of all, the media are saying that he's wanted to go. He's saying not a new deal, and then within a day they're saying, "Oh, Southampton want for £10 million." But 3 days ago, they didn't know about that. This is what I'm saying. They're plotting teams out there now. He's gone. Andrew's gone here now. Abada's got to Southampton. Then Berry was going to Brighton. Kyogo's gone down to Crystal Palace when there's been no talk about Kyogo going to Crystal Palace. It's just every time there's something. Every day there's something.
Again? He's been linked with somebody again that the Spurs.
I'll be honest with you, right? I can believe that. That's the only one I can believe. I could believe the Spurs link because if Spurs are looking at Ange, they're doing. I said JP the other day, they're doing a job run. Spurs should be. I'm being honest with you.
I think so. I think so.
He would have a bit of a chat to talk about my opinion.
Definitely.
But
see if they finish in the top 4 still, regardless of whether they give Ryan Mason a job as a caretaker to the end of the season, and they still manage to finish within the top 4, and they're in the Champions League next season.
He's got to think about it.
There's no way Ange doesn't look at that and doesn't at least have a conversation. Not a chance. It's not happening. I'd be really shocked if he didn't have the conversation. I wouldn't be shocked if he left either. That's it. That is the actual negative side of this 12-month rolling contract.
He's a free agent.
Then every summer he becomes a free agent. Every January he can effectively talk to clubs.
Just renew though automatically.
No, if he says I've got offers and I'm going elsewhere, but he'll give the club notice probably. I don't see him leaving Celtic in the summer. I don't see that happening. But as Ryan, I'll back up what Ryan says here. If Spurs are that's a massive job in England.
I agree with you, right?
All you've got to do is look at the last couple of managers I've had.
Would the Spurs fans be happy with Ange Postecoglou as their manager? I don't think they would be.
Well, if they're not happy with him, they don't know anything about the game. That's as far as I'm concerned. If they're not happy with him, because as soon as we found out about him, Jace, and we done our due diligence, and we found out what he was capable of, and then seen his CV, I don't have any complaints whatsoever. In fact, see if you go and compare his CV to the guy that we nearly got, it's night and day. Mm-hmm. Night and day. The guy we nearly got's only managed in one country. Ange's managed all over the world.
It's true, no, that's true.
So,
that's true.
It's night and day.
I still think that he's committed to finishing his job here.
Oh, he's not finished. I mean, he's only at phase 2 of the rebuild.
But
Ryan doesn't like that word. He doesn't like it. It's not a rebuild anymore. It still is because he's trying to then build us to the Champions League. This is the next stage here.
If you watch him on the Open Goal podcast, he said, "When I leave here, I want Celtic to be in a place where they're a constant Champions League quality team." And he's like, how do I do that? Is it that because I constantly need to improve them every year?
I get that, right? I get it. But see if a team like Arsenal or Spurs...
But Spurs that's a rebuild in itself, that job.
But I'm being honest with you, as much as I love Celtic, we're bigger than Spurs in terms of fan base, in terms of history, in terms of club, in my opinion. But they've got, obviously, that brand new stadium, the facilities. They have got some advantage over us, right? And that's obviously more money to spend. He's got quality players, guys like Harry Kane. Let's be honest, as much as Kyogo's good, if he's got a chance to work with one of the best, he's got to think about it, Jason. He's got to.
I'm not 100%, mate. 100%. There's a big difference with being linked to the Tottenham Hotspur job than there has been linked to the Leeds job.
But like I've always says, only listen to what you hear for the club, the manager or the players or the board. Don't listen to media because they'll tell you that white bread's fucking brown. Do you know what I mean? That's the way they operate. So in my opinion,
They've just tried to diminish our 1967 European Cup win and say the Aberdeen
Oh, did you see that?
result was better. And it's embarrassing. I seen it today, I know, and they were first out with the hands linked to Tottenham and stuff. It's actually becoming so predictable and embarrassing and cringeworthy now. I think they should just concentrate on going and making up stories somewhere else. I really do, and go and annoy somebody else.
Here's a question, but right.
It's becoming really bad. They're going to end up. They're going to end up banned. They're going the right way about getting a ban, because Andrews now, you can tell he's at a point now where he's fed up doing pressers and being asked the same dross.
Yep.
And even, by the way, I've listened to some of the fan media, and one or two of the questions he's been asked in there, he actually said to one of the guys, "Talk to me about the Aberdeen game.
Aye, I know.
Don't ask me about that." And then the guy came back about the January Monday. Like, you're just like, what are you doing, man? Like,
but they've been trying to get. You remember back when Ange first came in, we get beat at Tynecastle, and BBC was pure. Oh well, that's the league away then, or whatever it was. Or we get beat like 3 games in.
no, we get beat with Midtjylland, and he says it was catastrophic.
It was catastrophic, right? And Ange was pure. How is this catastrophic? You're very quick to jump the gun here.
He told the guy that he was very, very strong with his language as well. He said that's very strong language. Have you?
Do you know what I mean? So he's got the media's number, but that's why when he sent John Kennedy out, remember, it was he must be away to Brighton then if he sent John Kennedy out. No, he's no way. He sent John Kennedy out because he can't be bothered listening to yous. Because when he came back, he was like that. Ashley took another week off.
All along that was booked in. The John Kennedy thing. Aye.
Yeah, because I would get sick of it. I know if you're constantly trying to do your job, you're doing your job very, very well, and then you go to a press and it's pure, what do you think of Michael Beale? I mean, I don't care. I honestly don't care about Michael Beale. Or, you know what I mean? What do you think of this guy that's come in? Or what do you think of that? Of their run of results? But what about their run of results? What about us? We've only lost 2 games in a calendar year. He's only mentioning that.
Because it doesn't fit the agenda.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit.
And then you've got that. Did you hear that Keevan John Clyde man on Saturday, by the way? I don't think Celtic are going to score here. Bang.
I was at a game, mate, so I didn't hear
this was going to be up there.
I
was at 1-0. And he's like that. I don't think Celtic are going to score here. Boom, 1-0. Oh, that's it. Hibs will settle for a point. Bang, wallop, 2-1, 3-1. And then they're sitting, and then he goes, and then there were a guy phones up and he goes, about Beale with a gap, and Keevan goes like that. Oh, I think if Michael Beale came in at the start of the season, there wouldn't be a 9-point gap. On what evidence? Has he got this for? And he's still trying to sit there and say that Carl Starfelt isn't a good centre half. The guy's not lost a game when he's played beside Carter Vickers. They've never been beat, but he still questions it. It is unbelievable.
It's wild, isn't it?
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
3 or 4 times this season, that man. Now, we're talking about the same guy that sits in a dark room with Mark McGee. They turn the heating off and they eat cold beans, right? This is a guy who shaves with a Brillo pad, but it looks him. And he's sitting on there, he's been on there for 30 odd years, sitting on the tranny, talking utter dug meat.
Pedigree chum.
Absolutely. Now, I don't know if he's doing it for clickbait, he's doing it to get people to phone in, or he's doing it because he's an absolute loonball. But
or he genuinely believes it.
He sat 4 times this season and said that our season was imploding. Now, it's every season he predicts the Rangers to win the league. Regardless of whether Celtic's won a double, won a treble, doesn't matter. He predicts them to win the league every year.
Remember, but JP, pass it, passo.
Every year it's pass it, passo as well.
But no wonder. This is one reason why we do this podcast, because we see all this stuff that's what we called it. As much as that people might say, Ryan, why are you saying this? But you've got to respect him in terms of how long he's been a journalist, right? But his opinions, I don't know if it's, like you said, JP, is it trying to stay relevant? Is it clickbait? Is it trying to get views or listeners for the radio? I don't know, but see,
It's
these
just
guys,
it's farcical, Ryan. It's farcical. You can't sit there and
paid, like you say, JP. These guys are getting paid to write
unbelievable.
Go on radio stations, right? We're doing this. We're just talking like you went in the pub. You're talking away, but the guys are getting paid for it, and they're talking absolute jobby, like absolute dairy milk chocolate. And you're thinking to yourself, this is not on, man. It's not on. But back to Scott Brown, JP. I totally agree with you, mate. I've said enough comments about Bruni. For me, if you're a Celtic fan, you love him and you know how good he was on the ball and off the ball and off the park. If you're a Rangers fan or the Bruni, or if you're a part of the Scottish media or you're part of another club, he's no good enough. He was always a hothead. No, listen, he got one of the best. I think it was either the best distribution or pass rates in the Champions League that group stage. So listen, he was a fantastic captain, fantastic player, and
he also won the league at Rugby Park.
I won the league at Rugby Park, aye. And listen, to basically captain your team at 9 in a row as well. By the way, that's phenomenal. Look at what he says. He captained their team to go.
That was why I picked him, right?
To go invincible. By the way, do you know what I mean? Like, it's no 5 games. It's no 10. He's went a full season to keep these standards every single game, every week, every Saturday, every midweek. It's phenomenal. But I don't know if my band's maybe a bit recent and he was only there for 2 to 3 years. But for me, I would say, in terms of impact, JP, for me it was Scott Sinclair.
I knew you were going to say that.
Honestly, for me is
just that haircut and all.
The haircut was Andy's song was beautiful. The value of money, for me, we paid a bit of good money for him. Some fans might have thought it was a bit much, but at the time I'm thinking...
He was wonderful.
He was... That game at Tynecastle...
He was just a beautiful human being.
Beautiful human being.
He showed...
Great character.
He showed great character. But for me, Scott Sinclair was superb, and I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was...
He went to Dubai with Brendan and he says to him, you say steady to me again, you're one of the first playing back.
He's just the quality of him on the park, and he was so quick and
brilliant.
He's skillful, and players there know how to react to him, because he obviously where he's came from, and let's be fair, he's cricketed down a level a wee bit for where he was playing, and then he's came against us. Obviously, he loved it. He loved the club. He loved the fans. He loved playing here. But again, Jason, he came here to kind of rejuvenate his career, and he did. He was superb, and I still believe he got a bit mistreated in terms of his end of his second season, the start of his third season with Lennon, and I thought he got a bit. Again, we don't know if that's the board or it was Lennon. We don't know, but I thought he got a wee bit mistreated.
He was a massive reason why we won the treble, Ryan, as well.
Again, no disrespect to some of these guys. He's obviously Mikey Johnson still at Celtic, but he was playing guys like Mikey Johnson and Lewis Morgan, who have still had good careers. I get that, but at the time, we needed experience for the Champions League qualifiers to get into the Champions League, etc. And he's playing the guys in front of him. I thought it was a bit disrespectful, but again, we can talk about that in our podcast. But
Mikey Johnson actually made his debut tonight for Republic of Ireland against Latvia, and Republic won 3-2. That's good. And he came off the bench as a sub.
That's good.
He seems to be doing all right over there, by the way.
Oh, he's ripping it up in Portugal.
Me and JP keep saying this, but it's all right. He's obviously as good as he's getting game time, and he's improved as a player. But see, when you come back again, you've got to do that again. It's playing with Celtic and Gomara is a total different pressure. It's night and day.
Is he getting in that team before Haksabanovic, Jota?
I think he's getting in the team, mate. I'm only going with what I've heard Dan say and what I've heard Mikey say himself in Portugal. He was asked at a press conference no long ago about Stein in Portugal, and he turned to me and says, it's not an option for me, I'm going back to Celtic. I've already had the conversation with the Celtic manager.
Well, there you go, Abada. If Abada goes to Johnson, there you go, that's an option.
I do think Ange will buy somebody, but I do think he'll bring somebody else in. And he's too proactive for that.
I think might go. Do you know who I think might leave next year in the summer? James Forrest.
See, if I'm being honest with you, I think he's
Well,
good.
he's gone for money then, isn't he? Because you're getting money from him because he's still under contract.
If I'm being honest, Jason, I think in terms of his own career, I think he's got to go because he's not going to play in this team every week. He's not going to.
No.
And there's no point in James Forrest.
I don't know.
He's injured, aye. But see, in terms of, I still want to show him respect. I still want him to have. I don't want James Forrest just to bomb it, no play,
He's a testimonial.
He's testimonial. But he's got to. I want him to either go on loan or go somewhere and play and actually still play football because. A guy like James Forrest, I might not be his biggest fan, right? Obviously, his accolades tell me different, but I think sometimes in previous years gone past, he fought us to deceive sometimes, right? But he is a very good player in terms of to go for Celtic's youths, get through the youths and basically play a full team with Celtic, you've got to be good, no matter what I say, in my opinion. You've got to be good to get through Celtic's youth system and playing the teams he's played under, with the gaffers he's played under, and the players he's played with. But I think for me, JP, I do think that maybe for his best interest of his career, obviously winning trophies, he stay at Celtic, he'll win trophies, but for maybe his own career in terms of maybe game time, I think he's got to go elsewhere. That's just my opinion, JP.
Aye, I would agree. Ryan. I think his days are numbered in terms of playing consecutively, and obviously he keeps picking up wee injuries and niggling injuries along the way. So I would agree that he goes, and probably when he does go, he's going to move to a lesser sort of level as well, because his best days are definitely behind him. That's 100%.
No, I agree, mate. But it's been good to chat again, lads. Good topics. But Jason, last thought on the night yourself, mate. What's happened there? It froze. Oh, is it? But JP, obviously, some mental signings we've had, some brilliant signings. But overall, Big Jason's obviously his internet's away. How's your final thoughts, mate? Obviously, some of the signings, good signings, and then obviously moving into the international break and going forward.
Aye, I'm looking forward to seeing what the boys do in international level. I know there's only a couple of them away this time because obviously like say Carter Vickers and Moy and stuff are injured. Kyogo, Hatati never get picked for Japan. So I think you've only got really McGregor and Callum McGregor. David Turnbull never get picked. You've got Tony Ralston away with Scotland. So no, like I say, I'm hoping again, mate. You always hope that they come back injury free, and we've not picked up that many injuries. We're obviously hearing Abada get injured as well. He's done something to his hamstring. Then you hear another report saying it's not as bad as first thought, and then obviously, but as I say, but going forward, mate, we're at the business end of the season now, so there's no room for errors in my opinion, mate. It's fit to the throttle when the day come back, and let's try and get this league wrapped up as much or as quick as we can even, and put as much pressure on them as we can as well, because I think eventually they'll falter before we will. So, and reading the day, I know that the way the split's going to work out, they're going to have more away ties than what we are now as well, so I do think it'll be squeaky bum time for them. And I don't believe all this false press that they're getting either.
No, I agree, mate. Like I says about the gap and stuff like that with Super Ali again. I think Super Ali, Big Ali McCoy, I think sometimes he's actually all right. I think he's honest. But Big Ali's, I think he's...
That's the same guy?
Aye,
this one here?
Big Super Ali, aye, there he's there. Aye, but for me, I think... It's
Big Celtic fan now, isn't he?
I think it's just... I think he's just trying to give his team a bit of a jump. I like him in terms he's a pundit. He's good as a pundit and he talks all right. He praises Celtic when he's going to praise Celtic, but I think sometimes he's trying to give his team a wee bit of a G-up, Jason. But since you're back on, big man, what's your last word, big man?
I sort of caught the end of that. I think get through the international break with sort of no casualties and then just full throttle and try and get this league wrapped up, and hopefully we can get the the treble. I'll say it. So, I mean, that's what I want now. I don't. I've said it in other podcasts that Celtic's biggest problem, Celtic, if we get complacent, which I don't think we will, but that's the only way we're going to lose games is if we take our foot off the gas and we get complacent. But I don't think the big man will let us do that.
I'm not saying it yet because I don't want to end up on another podcast. Maybe I've been before this season. No, thank you.
Well, try and end up on another podcast.
No, again, Jason, I've said my piece on that. I you've got to mention it because I do think you've got to try and go for it now. You're in a semi-final, so you're 2 away for doing it, basically. So, again, because the league just is about, barring all accidents, it is just about finished. But, again, lads, it's been good to talk to you. But, again, if you do like the content, please subscribe to the channel. All you need to do is go to the YouTube channel, which is Celtic Unrestricted View, tick the wee red bell and press subscribe. It's totally free. If you don't know how to do it, just make a Google account and a password of your choice, and you'll get any live notifications from us when we go live or any videos. And myself and JP will comment on the community bit, which will tell you any updates on guests or podcasts or anything in Celtic in general. Myself and JP are on Twitter, and so is Jason. There's the Twitter handles there. If you want to talk about Celtic, or you just want to follow us for a bit of interest, or there's anything in your life that you kind of want to talk about, i.e., if it's mental health, Celtic, anything at all. If you don't want to talk to a stranger, talk to somebody you know. You can talk to one of us strangers if you want, that is. I like to say we're quite an open book. We're open to anybody who wants to chat. So we all know sometimes you can have hard days, and I know every day's a good day. So if anything at all we can help you with, give us a wee shout. We're also on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok for some jazzy videos, and we will come on live again soon on TikTok. So please follow the TikTok at Celtic Unrestricted View. We're also on Amazon Music now as well, so we're on every platform, so you'll get us everywhere. You can't miss us now, we don't stop. Cheese baguettes, cheese baguettes. But again, we really appreciate some of the comments. Again, we're really sorry that we can't get through all the comments because we're gabbing away and we can only get through so much. And please be gentle next time with the comments so we can get some of the comments up.
Very much so. Keep it clean. Aye, definitely.
Keep it clean until it's past the watershed, then Big Jason will know keep it clean.
6 minutes to go.
But again, lads, hail, thanks for the comments and take care. We'll see you all soon. Thank you.
Hail, guys. Cheers. Bye-bye.
That's who we are. The best on the planet. Unbelievable.
I love that. It's what I love.
First of all, before we go on tomorrow, we'll just want to say about Greg Taylor, mate. That's why the boys call him Oxwell, because he's absolutely different gravy.